Welcome to the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less Coaches Show, brought to you by GEICO, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call GEICO at 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO, or visit geico.com. And we welcome you inside TD Arena, finally, for our first Coaches Show for the first of the year. Good to have you back here inside TD Arena. Good to have the team back. And I tell you what, let's get right to the game against Furman. Talking to the guys, talking to you after the game. Obviously, everyone happy about the win. You guys 2-0 now in conference play, but I don't know if I've ever seen a group of guys so relieved to win a basketball game.
Well, I think you felt like you were probably stealing something at the end of the day on Saturday, because Furman played a great game. They really kind of gained momentum throughout the game. We had a lead early, we led up, and then they take charge. But at the end of the day, it's about making plays, and our guys made plays, and they found a way to win, and they were relieved to win the game, knowing that we didn't play particularly well.
I was looking at the stats and wrote these down beforehand here. If you would have told me before the game that Andrew Lawrence and Anthony Stick go 8 for 27, 5 assists and 8 turnovers, and we still win the game, you'd probably be pretty happy.
Unbelievable. And I went into the media room and they asked about going to my guards, but at the end of the day, you have to go to your guards. You have to live with those guys. They've played so well recently. But you're exactly right. I mean, we did not play particularly well, and got sloppy with the ball. And probably the key stat was the 17 turnovers overall. Just 17 turnovers. That's 17 opportunities that we don't have to score it, and gives them momentum to come back. And then it became a possession-by-possession game, and everything tightens up. But Andrew made a big shot. Willis made a big shot. Stitt made big shots, big plays down the stretch.
You guys actually got off to a good start twice in the first half. You guys had 13-point leads. Mm-hmm. Anthony Stitt actually hit his first 2 shots. You guys got off to a good start.
We did. We still, even when we turned it over early, we had 4 turnovers pretty early. But at that time, we had 5 assists. So we were at least sharing the ball and helping each other get shots. But I don't know. It just kind of changed. And then towards the end of the first half, Andrew got his second foul, and then he has to come out of the game. And I thought we showed some frustration, and Ajay didn't convert inside. Had some shots and didn't convert. So, and then, like I said, give them credit. And the Reddy kid played really, really well for Furman. You mentioned Ajay Brew, and something that we noticed during the broadcast, we all saw it. When Brew is playing with that confidence, when he goes over that left shoulder and at the apex of his jump flips it in with his right hand, that's a great move. I mean, is that something that you have really worked on with him this year? Because yeah,
we didn't see last year.
We're trying to go to that. A lot of times, you've seen every game. I mean, a lot of times we'll throw it in the post and he'll throw it right back out. Right. It's like that's not the intent here. Yeah. The other night, he did go to his left shoulder jump hook early and converted. Now that was against their freshman, Ferrara. Reddick was a big body, senior, very experienced. I understand he's always played well against us. Maybe that had something to do with it, probably did. But the one time during the game, I just told Ajay, just relax. I mean, just relax. You're going to play. Most kids are worried about whether they're going to play or not. You're playing. Now let's be productive.
Willis Hall, 6 points, 11 rebounds. You and I talked about him in the post-game show. Easily one, crowd favorite, a great guy to watch. He's one of those guys, and Coach Kress and I talked about this, that oftentimes with young players, it's tough when you practice and learn new things. It's tough sometimes to take that to a game. Willis seems to do that. Everything he does in practice, he plays just with as much intensity during the game. He's fun to watch.
He really is, and it's interesting, Jeff. It says final stats. It said 4 shots for Willis. He actually had 3 shots on that first possession. 2 of them were blocked.
That's right.
There were 3 shots there after going back and watching the tape. Yeah. He does not take any other shots the rest of the game but a made 3-pointer in the first half down here, and then the big one late in the game. So he's a guy that doesn't require a whole lot of maintenance. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just his effort's consistent and yet very productive. I've never seen a guy chase down rebounds. He got mad at me the other day in a good way. I just said, are you ever going to get a rebound above the rim? Because he gets everything on the floor.
Right,
but he takes rebounds. I give Ajay a hard time all the time. I said, Willis steals rebounds from you all the time because he chases them down on the ground and on the floor. But great production, great effort, big shot, experienced player coming through just like Andrew did.
Another guy I wanted to talk to you about was Anthony Thomas. Quietly 10 points. I think he's 4 of 6 from the field. Talk to me about his progression.
Yeah, that's funny you bring that up. probably unfairly to Anthony, we just have such high expectations. And I need to just, I know this enough, I've coached long enough, just keep my mouth shut until I watch the tape.
Right.
You know, just don't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
Going back and watching the tape, pretty darn productive.
Yeah.
You know, and during the course of the game, you're like, come on, Anthony, you could do more. First half, he turns it over. Going back and watching the tape, he got fouled like 3 times on the play, you know, and no call. They called a travel on him. The charge wasn't good late, just like Nori's charge wasn't great for us. But, you know, quietly made 2 or 3 free throws, which is an area we hope that he improves, gets the 4 rebounds, 4 or 6 from the field. You're absolutely right. I need to. What I want from Anthony, though, is probably not just physical thing. I want an emotion from him. I want him to. I want a toughness from him. I want a kind of a tough guy, you know, kick butt type of guy. And maybe that's where at times I get a little frustrated that I wish I'd see that more from him.
You mentioned free throws, so you guys hit 18 free throws, hit some big ones down the stretch. I know that's something you guys have been working on a lot in practice.
Everyone but Andrew.
Right, yeah.
He makes the big shot. He missed 2 free throws. I just asked him if he was having an out-of-body experience on Saturday because we just expect so much out of him.
Yeah.
But fortunately, when you win, you can laugh that stuff off and make it a positive, and that's what we did. The kids were all in the gym on Sunday, and we kind of laughed it off a little bit. But we are shooting free throws better. And again, man, if Ajay would just, you know, if we could ever get him to 70%, you know, he's 3 for 6 again. I mean, he'd be averaging double figures for sure. Right. That's a big thing. I think Ajay sometimes puts too much pressure on himself. Hopefully he's not watching these podcasts. You know, we are steadily improving in that area.
One more guy I want to talk to you about, Trent Wiedemann. You told me in the pregame show on the radio side you were hoping to get about 12 minutes. You get 11 minutes out of him. No points, 4 rebounds. How did he feel after the game?
He was a little sore. And looking back, good game as far as pace for him because it wasn't crazy up and down. Mm-hmm. But maybe bad game because maybe that kid there might be the best body center in the league. I know the kid from Davidson's very, very good, but I mean in terms of girth and strength, the Reddy kid was very, very impressive to me. He showed every move that you could possibly have after going back and watching the tape. But I thought that there was no major issues with Trent. He was a little sore, which is to be expected, and just continue to work him back in.
College of Charleston wins it over Furman, 60-56. The guys now 2-0 in conference play. They've won 5 straight. We'll take a break. We come back starting on Thursday, 5 games in 10 days. A lot to talk about when we return on the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less podcast here on CofCsports.com.
GEICO says, let's make life simpler.
Look, I'm all for modern conveniences. But ask yourself, do you really need a blender with 23 buttons just to chop an onion? At GEICO, we think life should be simpler. So we make it super simple to save on car insurance. Just 1 click and you could be on your way to saving hundreds. Come on, people. Life doesn't have to be that complicated.
GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back inside TD Arena for the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less Coaches Show here on CofCsports.com alongside College of Charleston head coach Doug Wojcik. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Thanks for tuning in this week. Our first show of the new year. Things about to get real busy for the guys starting on Thursday. 5 games in 10 days. But before we get to preview some of those games, Coach, congratulations. 5 straight wins for you guys. Also wanted to get your comments on this. We talked about it during the broadcast, but you guys are 5-0 on the road. And something to be said for that. You guys are 2nd in the country in road wins now.
Well, as I said in the media room the other day, you weren't in there. I went in and we made an administrative decision. We're going to play all our home games at the North Charleston Coliseum and treat them all as away games.
Stay at the hotel.
With the way we played on Saturday, I think that's what I'd prefer. But the kids are really focused. And then the other side of it is you have a good skill level. You know, you have a good skill level with an Andrew Lawrence and an Anthony Stitt. So in that backcourt, when you go on the road, you have a chance to really win games because they're a really good backcourt.
Coach, you've got two big recruits coming in for next year. Your first signing class, Terrence O'Donohue and Joe Cheeley. Joe looks like a great guard. He's out of Florida. He was actually here at the game on Saturday. How'd things go with you?
He was. His dad and he had driven up on Saturday morning and spent the night, and just great to see him. They're from Orlando, Apopka. It's kind of neat. Apopka a few weeks ago won the Florida State football championship, highest level, 8A. 8A.
I didn't know it went that high.
Oh my gosh. I think in West Virginia we had -2, not 8A. So he comes from a great school in terms of athletes and success, and he's a leader. His dad is in law enforcement. His dad was a college football player. Great family, mom and dad, his 2 brothers. So he'll be a really good player. I want our fan base to be patient because he's replacing Andrew Lawrence. You're talking about a senior who's a really good player, but he's going to have a great big brother in Anthony Stitt. And I think that 2-year difference between point guards is a really good thing for us.
And Joe's more of a true point guard, isn't he, too?
Despite
the fact I think he's about 6'3".
He's 6'3", long, can play him with Stitt, just like we're playing Andrew and Anthony Stitt together. But really has, I think the toughest thing to recruit is leadership and really depth, because a lot of kids aren't patient today. But he has great leadership abilities. Besides his athleticism and his length and all those things, he's an excellent student. He's an excellent role model, and we really look forward to big things out of him.
Tell us a little bit about Terrence O'Donohue. A little bit different style body, obviously a much bigger kid at 6'7".
Yeah. Well, he's kind of replacing Matt Sundberg.
Right.
So 3-4 man in the mold of an Anthony Thomas, a Theo Johnson, a Willis Hall, can guard a lot of different positions. What's neat about Terrence is he went away to boarding school up in Chattanooga at the Macaulay School, and so he's been away from home. He came back for his senior year. He's got a little bit of a knee. He had his knee scoped, so he's not playing right now, but strong body. He's got the ability to play inside and outside, multi-skilled, multitask guy.
Coach, wrap things up here again starting on Thursday with a game against Samford. 5 games now in 10 days. You know, Samford, Chattanooga here at home, and then on the road against a friend of yours, Chuck Drizel, on Monday at the Citadel, but a big stretch of games coming up.
It really will be. You know, my first time with each team. We're trying to figure out how to manage all that, and of course, Monday at the Citadel. Chuck's been a friend of mine for 30 years, and I don't know if I'm looking forward to that one. I'm more looking forward to getting that over with. If that sounds fair. But then you go at Georgia Southern and then at Davidson, so it's a big stretch for us.
Samford, of course, coming up here right away with a new head coach. They used to run a Princeton-style offense, more of a motion offense now, but be good to get back in the court, I'm sure, for the guys.
Yeah, I think so. I think they want to redeem themselves, and we have a few days of practice, and we start school on Wednesday, so not too taxing, but probably a good time for them to get back into a routine instead of kind of sitting around and eating their meals and practicing all the time. So they need a routine.
Congratulations again on the win. 60-56 over Furman. The guys again 2-0 to start conference play. They've won 5 straight, back in action on Thursday against Samford. For the coach, I'm Jeff. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week right here on CofCsports.com.